crazy shit to talk about today. Yes. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Life's gone. Jack Dorsey can't block us anymore.
Dude, the next guy is not going to be better.
No, it's going to get worse. Kind of like the mayor of New York or whatever it is. That bitch is crazy.
Oh my God, dude.
Absolutely nutso, bro.
It amazes me how it keeps just shifting more dichotomous. You know what I mean? Like the freer like Tennessee and Florida get, the crazier some of these places are getting. You know, like I will say this though, I bet you Trump is happy as fuck right now.
I think he's gonna be the real quick. I didn't have a chance to eat this Planta sludge. Check this out. 20 grams of Planta, the caramel candy bar. 20 grams of carbs from bananas, 15 grams of carbs from blueberries. Look how much food this is. It's just
amazing.
But anyway, I think Trump's going to win in 2024. I hate to say it. I don't think there's going to be somebody who's going to challenge him. I think it's kind of dumb for someone to come out and challenge him too. It's career suicide because you're going up against Trump. So like everybody wants this. I want DeSantis, but DeSantis is going to keep Florida great. And he's not going to want any of that smoke. So Trump's going to be the guy, and I'm going to have to vote for him again. It sucks because I don't really like Trump.
Well, I'm thinking the shit with Twitter is making him happy because it's just going to make his the Truth Social more popular. Like, yeah. I mean that's what I was looking at. Like, I mean, it could, again, like, man, I'm the same boat as you. Like, I'm not a huge Trump fan, and I'm not a huge fan of us as people electing like he's his own self-interest group. He's a billionaire, you know. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I can say this, man. Like, if he has his own servers and all that shit for his social media and does it right, where he can have people advertise on it, like I'm one of those believers, and me and you have talked about this before. And I encourage everybody to look. It's the same reason why YouTube has turned off the dislike button. It's because the based content is vastly more popular and vastly more sought out than the woke content.
You're right.
I mean, vastly more. Like, if you look at, like, the White House was just getting dislike bombed. Like, I'm talking like they'd have like 1,000 likes and like 100,000 dislikes, like ratios like I've never seen before. And if you even look at even without the suppression, like on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that, without the suppression, the woke content would be, it's a small minority of people, if you ask me. It's just got a loud megaphone in front of it. So he's got to be chomping at the fucking bit, man. Like, chomping at the bit.
Does Dorsey really hold Twitter together, though? I don't know their management, and I don't know how much role he plays in the day-to-day. So, Roja, I'm eating Planta. I just described. He just came in. Planta, 40 grams of protein from Planta with banana, about 20 grams of carbs from banana and 15 grams of carbs from blueberries. But it's delicious, and it makes a big bowl.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, by the way, Planta is vegan protein powder. It's the only vegan protein powder that I've ever liked. I mean,
they all taste like shit. We rocked it.
Yeah, the peanut butter and jelly one is silly. I mean, it really is. It's just fucking silly. It tastes like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think so. Back to Twitter. I don't know what Dorsey does at Twitter. Like, there's a lot of companies where the CEO doesn't really do much, right? Like Dorsey, is he an active CEO? Is he a passive CEO? Is he a figurehead at this point? We don't really know. I don't think Twitter's going to skip a beat. I don't know. Twitter's still a beast, and Twitter's still making millionaires day to day to day, and that's in the conservative world. Back to the conservative versus woke culture. I mean, here's the deal. Like, liberals have CNN, MSNBC, all these different outlets. Conservatives, if they want to hear their shit, they got to go to social media. So, you know, we don't have network not we, but I don't watch CNN. So I watch, oh, wow, there we go. Now, look at that. I watch, basically, I don't watch Fox. Newsmax, don't watch it, except Logan's my boy, Logan Raddick. He's great. We talk all the time. But other than that, and now that Steve Cortez quit because of the vaccine mandates, and now that they're mandating vaccines, I can't support those motherfuckers. No. So it's like, so what are we, you know, as people who aren't woke and people who don't want to watch Don Lemon's bitch ass or
my God,
bitch ass, what are we supposed to watch? Like, even people like us who aren't conservatives, what are we going to watch if we don't look at the internet? The internet's all we got. If it wasn't for Timcast and Jack Murphy and these guys and guys put on Joe Rogan, what the fuck do we watch? And that's why social media is so critical. Imagine if everybody's like, oh, social media is so bad. Dude, imagine how bad it would be if we just had what they had in the 90s and everything the media said was the only thing you heard. You didn't have any opportunity to have the Gainzcast to speak our point of view.
No shit. That's such a good point. Like, I mean, because my wife and I were talking about this, like, because I was absolutely against Trump in the 2016 elections. I'm not a Hillary fan by any stretch of imagination either, though. But dude, I voted for Obama twice. I'm not, he radically let me down. If you're going to talk about all this change, and I did think at the time there needed to be change. I thought he needed to change his aspect too, because like I never understood the whole gay marriage thing. And just so you guys are aware, he was very against gay marriage and all sorts of shit. Mm-hmm. And that affects friends of mine, like that they couldn't get married. Like back in the early 2000s, we knew a couple that like they couldn't visit each other in the hospital because like they were next of kin. But I agree. I mean, we turned off the media for like 3 years and just focused on the business. Well, about 2.5 years in, I'm like, Trump can't be doing that bad of a fucking job because very honestly, the businesses are cranking and the economy's roaring, right? And then we turned it back on when COVID started hitting, and it's like, holy shit! Like it almost is like my wife and I were talking about it last night, where it's like we had this break from it, so we weren't able to like just get bombarded with the brainwashing, I think, and we were able to take a critical looking at it. By the way, the thing I have up, that's the new CEO of Twitter.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
He's quoting something. I need to see context.
That's what I asked on my Twitter. I was like, who is he quoting? That's what I want to see.
I've literally quoted stuff without context before, and I've kind of, fucked it up. I've done a lot of fuck ups in my day. So here's the thing. Just to get back, just that tweet's funny. Because obviously not all Muslims are terrorists. I have a lot of Muslim friends who are not. In fact, I would say I probably have more Muslim friends than Christian friends at this point in my life. You know what? And the thing is, if you can have a viewpoint, like there's people who, there's great CEOs out there who see a viewpoint, but they still manage their company from a neutral stance. Like for example, I'm obviously more of an independent freedom thinker. But, I think I've told the story. We had this great intern that I loved to death, and she was out there marching with BLM and raising money for them, and she was woke as hell. And our staff, who is extremely, I don't want to say mixed is a weird word, but they're extremely diverse in their thought. They accepted her, and we all got along because we don't fucking judge people, our personal interactions with people based on their beliefs. So, if he's able to, like, I didn't go out and say, you're woke, I don't like you. No, right. I'm like, awesome. You're doing a great job. I mean, as long as you do your job and you run a company well, I mean, Twitter's like, that guy could have said that. Right? Like he could have said, "Why fucking white people are all white supremacists?" Okay, white people are all racist, which we know is stupid. But he could have said that. But let's say that maybe he manages from a neutral standpoint, and he likes the freedom of speech. So maybe the fact that he said that due to his freedom of speech shows that he wants all people to be able to share their opinions. So I'm not going to pass judgment on the guy or girl. Is it a guy?
It's a guy. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't. The name was very.
And there are no pronouns, by the way.
That's a good sign. Yeah. I'm not going to judge the person until I see what they do. But at the end of the day, man, Twitter's been very good to me.
That's what I was going to say. That like Twitter's been good to me at a time when all other social medias were kind of fucking shitty. Like in the time that I've had channels deleted, the YouTube channel is just like if I post a video, I lose 100 subscribers. All my videos have 99 point something like, or 95 and up approval ratings, but I lose 100 subscribers. It's just the algorithm, And I do say, I'm sure I say shit. I gotta fucking fix my focus. It drives me crazy. Fix it. But it's worse. What the fuck?
Now you see me now. Peekaboo.
Fucking anyway.
I don't know.
Fucking deal with it. My ADHD cannot handle that shit.
Yeah, I'm getting epilepsy from this, bro.
Yeah. But sorry, man, I didn't mean to give you epilepsy. But anyway,
you get epilepsy, or do you have epilepsy and you get a seizure?
You have epilepsy, you get a seizure, yeah. But it could be he is quoting, so I do want to know who he's quoting. And it was from 11 years ago. Like, I think that like
11 years ago, our opinions. I'm sure we said shit 11 years ago.
Dude, my God, no shit.
Dude,
but like
I've said so much stupid shit 11 years ago. Like I had to delete. I'm going to admit something. So when I was on American Grit, they had me go through, and this was before I was big on Twitter, and I had to delete like 50 tweets they pointed out because they didn't want me to get flagged. Once I was on the show, they said, "Hey, we want you on the show, but you really got to." And the main thing I said, at that time, obviously now they would never let me on a reality show because I'm too controversial. But the one thing I said was a joke about Hillary Clinton's cankles, and that was a big thing. I'm like, so I asked the producer, his name was John. I'm like, John, she does have cankles. He's like, yeah, she does have cankles, but we don't want any political bullshit on here. I'm like, right. I get it, but we all agree that the bitch has cankles.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, the bitch has cankles, So a lot of these guys, they're just covering their ass.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I love diversity of thought. Like I'm the type that I'll sit down. I mean, you know me. I'll sit down and have a discussion about shit with anybody, as long as we can stay in the realm of facts. As long as, and if my facts turn out to be wrong, please show me your facts so my facts can be. Because I hate more than anything. I hate being wrong. Mm-hmm. And that's why I do it on all my independent lives still on my channel. Like, people ask me the craziest shit all the time. Like, in the last 4 years, I have focused literally on weight loss. Now, don't get me wrong, me and you have had conversations, and I think that I'm pretty proficient when it comes to exercise and movement and stuff like that, But people ask me my opinion on shit, like, what's the best way for my deadlift to get, like, when have you guys ever seen me deadlift anything like remotely heavy? That is not even like what I did. Like, my squat was pretty good. I have very pretty squat form, but and I could military press the fuck out of fucking some dumbbells. But everything else, why the fuck would you come to me for shit like that? Like, I always say, why don't you ask somebody else? But another thing I'm always amazed at, people come to me with injury problems. Like, hey, I've got a slap tear in my shoulder. What's the best exercises for me? Like, motherfucker, the one your doctor tells you to do. I don't understand how people it's this weird base of knowledge that I think that everybody always plays off of. Like, if you don't know what you're one of the only other people I've seen do this. If you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you just say, I don't know.
I don't know a lot of things. I like when people come to me with shit I can't answer legally. Like, hey man, my TRT doctor did black. I'm like, dude, I literally can get fucking jailed for it's literally impersonating a doctor. So people get so mad. Hey Mark, I'm taking testosterone enanthate, and then I'm like, dude, first of all, no, I don't. I need to know your medical history if I was a doctor. Second of all, I'm not. And third of all, you're paying this fucking doctor to prescribe you shit. Like, why are you asking a fucking strength coach who makes supplements? Like, I'm not the guy. Right. I'm not the guy. So, but people think when you're online and you speak opinion that you know shit you don't know.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. And then it's weird because if they want you to know it, they'll take your word for it. And a lot of fitness people fucking abuse that. But then when you show proficiency in knowledge or you show stated fact and it goes against some of their premise, they just don't want to hear it. I got massive pushback because Omicron. We are it sounds like we're in a fucking Transformer movie. It's so fucking stupid.
So idiotic. I've never seen it, and it's weak as fuck.
It's a weak viruses, and this is I'm going to say this just so everybody gets it, and you can back check anything I fucking say, but this should be seen as a good thing. Delta was a good thing, okay? When a virus mutates to especially more transmissible in nature, okay? I'm just saying in nature, when it normally mutates to something more transmissible, it becomes weaker, it becomes less lethal because the virus wants to live, nature wants to propagate. So it finds a way to keep the host alive. So therefore, if it can spread, the idea is it becomes more transmissible but less lethal, right?
Yes.
Delta was a good thing. First of all,
Agreed.
the OG should have been assigned for us. As I've always stated, We should have told those people that were very immunocompromised or very sick, fucking hide out for a couple months, fucking get locked up, and let everybody else go party, fucking let's do some hedonistic shit and fucking get this shit spread throughout the fucking population so we all have immunity, right? And then Delta came along. I'm like, fuck, that's a win-win. Now it's even less dangerous because it's less dangerous. And now this shit should be seen as like a fucking, like, this is the time for like, okay, reverse 2020. We should go out and as many people as possible that have not had this should get it, right?
Let's do like the fucking when Moses went up to the mountaintop, because it is Hanukkah, by the way. Happy second day of Hanukkah. I lit the menorah, and my wife has it on film. I'm afraid to post it. I can't fucking read or speak Hebrew worth of shit. I was born in Chicago, raised in LA. So I'm like, Baruch atah Adonai, and I'm like, oh my God. And it was bad. But anyway, so I mean, just because I'm Jewish doesn't mean I need to know the fucking language, right?
But this is your first year really celebrating it back again, isn't it?
No, I've always done Hanukkah as a historical thing because I really love my heritage. And the Jewish faith thing is so secondary to being proud of my heritage. And I'm doing that because I need to be, because I'm tired of society telling me to be ashamed because I was born with light pigment. So I'm like, fuck that. My fucking history is awesome. I have no idea what the fuck we were talking about, but it was awesome. He didn't. Oh, Moses. So Moses goes up to the fucking mountaintop, right? And he's like, fuck, man, I'm going to go get some shit. I'm going to get these commandments. He comes down and everybody, it's fucking just orgies. Comes down and motherfuckers having orgies. That's what we need to do right now. We need to go back to Moses's days. We need to get out. We need to get this Omicron. We need to fucking get orgies and obviously wear condoms and shit. But we need to fucking go to the mountaintop like Moses. Hanukkah, motherfuckers. Go. Hold on. Let me whip out my chain. All right, got it. We need to go to the fucking mountaintop. And we need to get Omicron, because Omicron is going to be weak as fuck. And that, oh my God. And speaking of ADHD, dude, have you seen these 100 fucking FIFA players are fucking dying?
What the fuck? Yeah, I mean, that's
normal. That's not fucking normal, Alan. That's not normal.
And I'm loving watching them try to explain it away. Like there is a heart publication called Circulation, right? And it is they circulate studies. It's one of the best, most well-known ones in the world. And they came out with a study and a warning stating that that the mRNA beer flu jab, whatever the fuck we need to call it this week, so fucking stay on. Is causing I sent you those screenshots. The CDC is admitting that there's myocarditis connected to the mRNA jab. It's on their website, period. People can argue back about it, but it's on their website. Yeah. And it's not normal. We have now taken something that was very, very, very problematic to people that took their health very lackluster, that didn't bother with their own fucking personal health, that treated their bodies like fucking fast food dumpsters, and elderly people. We took something that was not dangerous to healthy young people and made it dangerous, and somehow made the situation dangerous for healthy young people. It's disgusting. It is a crime against humanity. I'm amazed that people are still accepting about this.
Well, the thing is, people are living in fear. And again, like we said, if we didn't have social media, if we had to rely on CNN, MSNBC, and all these other outlets, we would be scared too. Now, Governor Hochul, I believe that's New York, canceled elective surgeries. You know what? Move. I'm done.
Yeah, move.
Here's the deal, man. It's like, if you I was at wrestling practice last night. My kids started wrestling club, right? Mm-hmm. So yesterday, by the way, my kids sparred in the morning and wrestled at night. It was pretty bad. It was
savage.
Well, it's Preston. Preston went in the ring against Thomas, and they went easy on him. And this kid Ethan, who's Ethan is that kid who Thomas fought with the fucking shredded abs. The kid who was on 200 milligrams of testosterone a week. Yeah. Anyway, Ethan and his dad's such a good guy. And Preston was getting he's not very good. He's 8. Compared to Thomas and Ethan went, I sent you a video, they went fucking at it. These kids are the best of friends, but you put headgear on them. They were fucking going in. And, but I'm at wrestling last night. It's a small room, and I'm not coaching. I'm just watching. And there had to be, I think there was 70 kids and probably 30 parents in a room that should have fit half of that. And no masks, no nothing. And that's Tennessee. And guess what? Everybody's healthy. Everybody's prospering. And our rates are lower than New York and California, I believe. If they're not, fuck it. We're live. And we're having fun. Our kids are fucking living and crushing it. And there's no masks, no nothing. And that's what's beautiful about what we do. We haven't skipped a beat. And we have wrestling tournaments, we have boxing, like we go to the gym and we have events, but it's happening all over the world. Like New York, Cal, those are anomalies. Everywhere else, they're packing football stadiums, they're packing arenas, and that's what it's all about. We've been going to, Nashville FC soccer games, the whole year, and we're neck to neck, shoulder to shoulder. Not one person in there. There's a couple weirdos with masks, but at the end of the day, let them wear them. That way I know not to talk to you.
Yeah, I mean, down in Florida, man, we have. I mean, the waitresses haven't been wearing masks. Like, I mean, like, that's the fucking thing. I don't understand how. Like, if you live in New York, I agree. Move. I don't want to hear you bitch. Like, I mean, because like you've had 2 years to realize that these people, they are not concerned with your actual health. Shit, the fucking quote unquote president was just on, giving a speech about Omicron, and because he has to give his speeches midday because the meds wear off before sundowners, okay? So he's standing up there on the podium, touching his face, touching everything like that, has to call up the Fauci-ouchie motherfucker who's wearing a mask like 10 feet behind him. So Fauci-ouchie comes up, takes his mask off by the time they're standing next to each other, because that's what you fucking do with his fucking dirty-ass hand, proceeds to touch the fucking podium for fucking 15 seconds, gives an answer, slaps his mask back on while the quote-unquote president slaps his mask back on and off. Like, if they were actually serious, this is a fucking doctor and the president of the United States, quote unquote. But if they were actually serious, if they were actually worried, that's not how they would put masks on.
No,
I mean,
don't touch them.
Just so people understand, like, if
it's fucked.
It's fucked. And once you touch something else, it's fucked. Like, I mean, it's so just ridiculous. These are two elderly men, one with obvious, very clear fucking issues, who, if you can't, they're not taking it serious. Why the fuck are you?
I just think it's fucking hysterical, man. I'm just watching this, and so I was having a conversation with my wife on the way back from the gym today. It was funny. I'm like, these people who are like, oh, I'm going to lose my job. I'm like, first of all, if your job mandates you have a medical procedure, you don't want to keep it. That's not a job you want. Secondly, and we've talked about this before, and this gets my goat. It really gets my fucking goat. Like, dude, every job in most states is at will. Mm-hmm. So I have a friend, and I told you I was so mad about this. She is having the worst migraines, and she got the Mexican beer shot. She got it to keep her job in the medical profession, and then they fired her.
Yeah, dude.
And she has no repercussions.
She needs to hire a fucking lawyer.
Can't do anything. No, because the mandate is separate from at-will employment. They don't cross. So she has no case. There's no case. That's fucking ridiculous. So I mean,
we need to build a whole new secondary system. Like, I really believe this, and this is why I'm glad
the parallel economy.
This is why I'm glad we're on Spotify, because I can see this one not staying up. Because the shit we've already covered, I can see this one not staying up, dude, on YouTube. And by the way, make sure you follow us on Spotify. You can watch this video on Spotify too, so make sure you follow us there, because there's a chance this video won't work here.
I didn't think we said anything with any of the keywords, though.
Maybe not. I
mean, we'll see. The one that got blocked, I don't know why it did, but
it would be nice if they told us, but they don't.
There's nobody. See, here's the thing: nobody's getting forced to get the shot, to get the medical procedure. Nobody's being forced. Nobody's being forced. There's nobody who could force to do anything, man. This isn't. You're not a slave. It's a free country. Get a new job. Again, you do not need to work for someone who has that little regard for you and your health and your personal choice of what to do with your body. If I told you that you have to walk around the office with an anal bead stuck in your butt all day, would you want to work for me? Okay, many of you would. But would you want to work for me? And the answer is no. No. So the bottom line is, I have no respect for someone who does something they don't want to do to keep something that can be taken away from them because you're at will. You're just a weak person. You're weak and you're scared. And that's what's causing this to go on as long as it is, because everybody's weak and scared.
Yep.
Stand for something or fall for everything. This is absolutely insane. You are letting them take advantage of you. You're letting them completely rule your life. All you have to do is say no. And if they don't like it, you're at will.
Yeah.
You're at will, you dumb motherfucker. They can fire you at any fucking time. And like I was listening to Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey had a rant on it. There are too many jobs in this country right now. Too many jobs. There are literally more jobs than there are people who want to work. You're telling me you can't get a job that pays at least 70 to 80% of what you're making now. You're telling me you can't. Every industry is hiring, from executive to fucking retail to fucking executive to servers. Dude, you want to make extra cash? I was on another podcast, Alan, and I talked about this. Dude, people are making like $100-200 an hour delivering fucking Grubhub and Uber Eats. Get a fucking 9 to 5. Everybody offers health insurance now because you have to. Work at Amazon. Amazon's paying like $22 a fucking hour. Work at Amazon. Get the health insurance. Get the fucking dental. And then fucking moonlight as a fucking Uber driver or Uber Eats or Grubhub. Guarantee you will make more than you made at your last fucking job. Guarantee it. 22, I believe $22 an hour is $40,000 a year. $40,000. You add in 4 hours at fucking $100 an hour, dude, you're making fucking $60K a fucking year. And I know the median income is not much above that. So, and even if you're making more than, if you're a high level executive making $300K, somebody's going to gobble you up because you're that damn good. Don't be a fucking scared pussy. I'm fucking tired of fucking Americans being fucking scared pussies.
Well, the biggest fucking thing, dude, we were talking about like a parallel economy. That won't happen. Like, you motherfuckers will not be free until you free yourselves. Like, I mean, like, demand to be free. Once you free yourselves, you will be free. But you need to demand it, and it'll be better for everybody. Fuck, dude. I mean, like, you can't, like, that's another thing too. They've only got until, like, the reason that it is having a hard time with people finding the jobs in a parallel economy and everything like that is because of the suppression on social media. So reality, that's another thing too. If Trump's thing can go off the way it's fucking supposed to, I mean, it creates literally a secondary economy.
And it creates, I will get a fucking MAGA hat. I don't give a fuck. I will, if his shit works and it gives us a parallel fucking system, I'm on it. And I'll tell you what, man, I want to get back to this, Alan. I'm really fucking passionate. And I'm really passionate about this. I want you guys to get a fucking second job. Everyone watching this now, Alan and I have about 12 jobs. Okay. But I want you to get, if you work a 9 to 5, I want you to give 2 extra hours, whether you do something online, whether you're writing an ebook or you're delivering Uber Eats. I want everybody watching this to take my advice and don't go home and fucking play Warcraft and fucking play these fucking stupid video games. Dude, you can there's so much money out there right now. I told my wife, if I wasn't coaching right now, I would drive Uber Eats, and I'm rich and I'm fucking wealthy. I would fucking be, my neighbor lives in a fucking $2.1 million fucking house, and she's delivering Uber Eats and she's paying off all her bills. $2.1 million fucking house, delivering Uber Eats in a fucking Tesla and a fucking $80 car.
Well, that's the fucking reality, bro. It's like, I mean, it is what people just don't want to admit. We do not have an outcome problem in America. We simply don't. We have an effort problem in America.
Fuck yeah, dude. We start texting at 4 or 5 a.m. Period. We start going over ideas and concepts and this and that and the third. And we have a big project going on that we're working on getting hopefully to fruition in the next couple of weeks, and then we can launch soon. You know, we have so much going on, and dude, I'm telling you, if I didn't give so much time to charitable things like coaching and stuff, dude, you can never have too much money. Like, you just fucking can't. Like, you can't have too much money. And here's my thing, and people scoff at this, like, in this next year to year and a half, my wife and I will be off the fucking grid in some fucking way. I will not be controlled. Like, that's another thing people need to fucking realize too. You better have a plan if they decide to fucking shut the fucking power off on you motherfuckers.
because you better believe that they fucking can. Now, you could easily fucking just shift, like that's the thing. That's why we need decentralization of fucking everything. We need it get back to us, but it won't get back to the people when you're all lazy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You're all lazy. Like, I'm sorry, but so many people are fucking lazy.
My job's making me get a medical procedure and I can't lose my job. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. There's so many opportunities out there. Shut the fuck up, you weak fucking bitch. Shut up. If you don't want it, don't fucking do it. Have a fucking pair. And by the way, Kim, overtime does count. Yeah. Overtime does count as extra. You're not just getting by. And if you have no time, you need to have de-stress. You need to have time for you. You need to have time to exercise because, if you die, what's the point of having money? All this is within reason, right? Like 8 hours a day. There's fucking 24 hours in a day.
No shit.
You need 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Okay, so we're up to 6.
When was the last time you worked 8 hours a day? Because I go on vacation and don't work only 8 hours a fucking day.
I work every day. We had our this weekend of the year. Yeah, obviously.
What the fuck? We don't live in that world no more, motherfuckers. We simply don't.
We never did. Success has always been beyond a 9 to 5. It's just back in the day they had to be somewhere. Now I could do it from my fucking phone. That's the difference. It's fucking annoying. It's like, oh, I can't. And then I post something like, hey, you know what? If you want to get this done, do this. Well, it's easy for you to say, easy for me to say. Like, I hate when people assume that I just started here. It's like, oh, I just started in fucking Brentwood, Tennessee. No, I didn't fucking start here. I started well below. And let's go back to the time. Like, dude, if you work 8 hours a day, you sleep 8 hours a day, that's 16 hours. You still got fucking 8 left over. What the fuck are you going to do with that? 8 fucking hours. 8 fucking hours. Okay, let's add 2 hours to train. You got 6 hours left. 6 fucking hours. 2 hours for TV. 4 hours you can work. I gave you 2 hours to watch fucking TV.
I will argue that the training is actually you making money because it's you saving money on your fucking health.
Bingo.
I will argue that because no shit, the less you access the fucking healthcare system, the less you fucking need to, the more money you will fucking have. Health is enrichment because if you are ill, it gets very expensive and it affects your productivity almost every fucking day. Dude, I think I might have either had the vid or something like that because I was off my supplements for like a week because I fucking wanted to give myself a break from all the gel caps because I take like 5,000 in a fucking day. And then right as soon as you fucking sent Vita, I started getting that little fucking cough and shit like that. So I'm gonna take an antigen test here within the next week. But Invita knocked that shit. By the way, motherfuckers, right here. If you have not gotten it, fucking be healthy because that shit knocked.
I got a ton of antibody tests. I'll send you one.
Okay, that'd be cool.
I got it. I'll just send it to you today. I just got to send it from here. So because we bought, I know everybody knows this, but we're a very, very responsible company. So if our company even has sniffles, they take an antigen test. So we bought thousands of dollars in antigen and antibody tests. Oh, they're not accurate. I don't know, man. They're pretty fucking accurate so far for us. Yeah. So we bought a ton of them and we're using them. Hopefully they can get the new variants. That's the thing.
No shit.
What about the people who got the beer stab? And then they find out that it doesn't work against these new variants. I think it's fucking hilarious, actually.
Oh, and then they're saying that they'll have a new jab ready for in 100 days for the variant. Like what they're going to do, motherfuckers. They are going to find a new variant I would almost guarantee you there's hundreds of variants right now. Like you guys got to understand how this. Like it's a virus. They mutate. It's what they fucking do.
It's called viral for a fucking reason, dummies.
Exactly. But what I was saying a second ago, I fucking, I didn't feel good for like 2 or 3 days. And I'm used to waking up like normal daily routine, and people can fucking make fun of us for all they want. But normal daily routine, I wake up, say hi to my wife, have some coffee, and then I me and Mark text back and forth for a little bit about different studies or whatever, But for a couple of days, I slept in, and that's how I knew I was fucking ill. That's the only way, because I didn't fucking get ill, and I knew I was fucking not feeling good, right? Mm-hmm. And it lowers your productivity. I can tell you this from when I was a fat ass, and for those of you that are watching that don't know, I was a serious fat ass. But for when I was a fat ass, I was not nearly as fucking productive as I am now. Mentally, cognitively, physically, in every fucking way. And I'm older now, years older, you know?
Oh man, I'm more productive. Like I was just talking to bow-tied Ox, whatever his name is, like whatever. He's the bow tie guy. He's the guy who started that bow tie shit. Anyway, he's a good guy. And you know, he's like, man, I can't wait to prep because I'm so dude, my fucking routine and regiment, it took like last week was off. And then I figured out it was a blood sugar thing because I was off. Like when you're this on, you could tell when you're off. Like my off is everybody else's greatest day ever. And but dude, today I woke up and I'm like, oh yeah, I just knew when I woke up. And I even texted you, Alan. I'm like, dude, I feel like a fucking champ today. And you thought I felt, no, you don't understand. I feel fucking amazing. I went to the gym, I had a great workout, and I've been doing Tabata. I want to talk a little about polarized cardio because I think that's going to help a lot of people lose weight and save and fucking reach their goals. And it's something that I've been doing for a while, but I never really went into the science, and the science backs everything. But you know, I'm looking at everybody here, man, and I'm looking at some of these comments, and I'm thinking to myself, the whole thing about like, well, we won't let the vaccinated get the ICUs, dude. If it all works, why are we using the ICUs for them? Like that's the point, to keep them out of the fight. Like the point is to make it weak, right? Because it doesn't prevent it. So the point is to weaken it. Okay. So we weakened it. And the point of weakening it is so you don't end up in ICU. My thing is, if I'm in the ICU, I don't want to, I'm not going. Like, just fucking let me get, dude, unless I get, the only way I'll be in there is from fucking like a car accident, blunt force trauma in the head, dropping a weight on my fucking dick, something like that. And my dick isn't big enough to actually lay on the floor and drop a weight on. Dropping a weight below my stomach. I don't want to mislead people that my dick hangs so it actually lays on the ground. It doesn't. It's a normal average white guy penis. And just in case you were wondering.
Thank you for clearing that up, man.
Just Google my friend Bo Lewis and you'll definitely. But that's the guy who could drop an actual like car on his penis. But you know, my thing is, you know, I've never been in the ICU and I have no intention of going there. But by the way, not only have I been paying into the healthcare system and my healthcare plan and not using it for fucking 40 years, but I've been paying into my employees' plans. So fuck you. I will use whatever healthcare I want to fucking use because I've been paying into the fucking system since before most of you motherfuckers were alive.
Well, so, the premise is bad too.
And like why don't we disallow fat people and smokers then?
Boom. I agree with that 100%, but the premise is bad too. Like the premise of, well, you're at some point in time, you're going to need the hospital system. So we just won't serve you. Like people do like, and this is just to be very frank. And me and you've talked about this before. The hospital system is dangerous as fuck. Frankly, more dangerous than the virus. The hospital system kills more. The medical mistakes kill more people. If you combine medical mistakes and like complete just medical mistakes and then prescription interactions, like negative drug outcome interactions, it easily, and I mean, I'm talking by far, kills more people a year than the vid has. Yeah. By far, like 500,000 people a fucking year, every fucking year. Like when people talk about like, oh, I'll just go to the ER, like slow the fuck down. Like, do you need to, dude, I fucking super glue if I cut myself, I super glue that shit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And I have access to really good, and obviously I'm pretty blessed. But by the way, I want to point out this is our most consistent viewers live of all time, and it's going to get better and better because we're gonna kind of hit our stride too, and we appreciate you guys listening. But look, man, I here's the thing, man. I've never used the ICU, but some people do. So, and the thing that Havoc Music is saying. Yeah, there's a lot of very well proven, scientifically documented alternate treatments, but the number one treatment is exercise, diet, not being fat, and taking viral defense supplements. Period. Well, supplements, you sell supplements? Yes, I fucking do, but I can point to pages and pages of data backing up everything I'm saying. So it's not like this stuff where okay, so all of a sudden I need data. But we don't need long-term studies on mRNA. So we need to show data on, do you want data? Look up fucking vitamins. There's plenty of data on vitamin C.
That's something I found kind of crazy too. Like I've got this statement because people like, I've been talking about like actual health and like the health side of fitness for years. Right. And I always get well, you're not a doctor. Like the shit I say, a 6-year-old picking their nose could say it. It's still going to be fucking true. You guys realize that, right? I mean, when I tell you that if you lose weight, your blood pressure will be better. If you lose weight, you won't be in an inflammatory state. If you're morbidly obese, that's unhealthy. That's not like, I don't need to be a doctor to fucking. If I tell you carrying a 100-pound backpack on your back every single fucking day is going to be bad for your knees. Like if you sleep with it on, stand up with it on, walk with it on, like people are like, oh, I'll just get bigger and stronger. No. You need to be sedentary and eat like shit too. Like, I mean, and you fucking, and then you just carry 100 extra pounds around on you. You're going to fucking fuck your knees and back up, motherfuckers. One of the things we do for people that have lost an extended amount of weight, Mark, is we have them do an accountability walk. So if they've lost like 100 pounds, we have them put like a 25-pound backpack on and keep it on for the whole day and then go for a walk. And then we remind them, like, you had 4 times that on your back every single fucking day. And it's like, because a lot of people, you know how it is in coaching too. A lot of people all of a sudden hit a spot and they're like, they like stall because like they feel better, but they're not healthy yet. You know, like they feel better, but they're not there yet. So all of a sudden you need to remind them like, hey, you don't want to go back to this shit because this is where the fuck you were at, you know?
Yeah. Here's the thing, like lately, so I was big on antiviral. That was like my obsession. My obsession. And when I say obsession, when I obsess about something, I obsess. And my wife always makes fun of me. She's like, can't you just like do something a little bit? I'm like, no, I can't. So I know more about viral replication than I will tell you 99.9% of human beings on this earth with degrees on the shit. So, and here's another thing I want to bring up. You got podcasts like Huberman Lab. Like, you don't need a degree anymore. This guy's a professor at Stanford. Huberman Lab, he's on Spotify, on YouTube. I sent you his shit. Like, it's excellent. There's another thing, like how things work. So I don't listen to music anymore. I just listen to podcasts. So I never, ever, ever, I mean, in the car, obviously in the office when I'm working, I like to have ambient music, but, always learn. Like there's so much information out there, but my fascination lately has been hearts, because you're looking at the people who've gotten these. How do we help the people who've gotten this procedure? How do we help them not die? And also, how do we help people not die? Because there's obviously a lot of bodybuilders who haven't had the procedure dying, and there's athletes, and everybody die. And I mean, not athletes as much. Athletes, we can pretty much trace it to that, right. But there's people dying. And I'm looking at, and Cernovic kind of sparked it. And I did a video on the Tiger Fitness channel on it, and it's polarized cardio. And there's one method I like to do. And it's basically, if you're just doing cardio, if you're not training first, if you're training first, just do 4 minutes of Tabata. Tabata is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. It's the hardest thing ever. I've been using the Airdyne bike. It's absolutely ridiculous. The lactic acid burn you get, but what it does is it has the benefits of hours of cardio. It's crazy. And it's basically 20-second worst, 10-second rest, but you have to go super hard to the point. If you can do more than 8 total rounds, you're not doing it right. I'm up to 3 doing it hard. At around round 4, I'm about to fall off the bike and die. But I love the Airdyne bike if you have one around. If not, an elliptical machine works, anything but a treadmill, because you got to be able to start really fast.
Yeah.
To go bike. So what I recommend for cardio is start with high intensity. It doesn't have to be Tabata. Tabata is great because it only takes 4 minutes. Start with Tabata. After the 4 minutes, gather yourself, because you will fall down if you try to do cardio. And then hop on the step mill and finish your time allotment. And what it does is there's studies to demonstrate that it not only is superior for fat loss, but also for cardiorespiratory benefits, all the cardiometabolic benefits. And you can look up the data. I did a video on the data on the Tiger Fitness channel. So I just want people to live. So now my focus is on heart health. And after I'm done with this competition season, I will be taking a year off of competing, and we will be doing a lot more stuff on heart. And I'd like to obviously do a lot with you, Alan, because you're big on obesity, and it goes hand in hand, because obesity is the #1 comorbidity for heart disease. So we would like to I want motherfuckers to live, and a lot of people don't. And that's the thing, like, you will never hear me, like, I am dunking on people who got the medical procedure, because they're dunking on me. I'm like, oh, sucks that you have to worry about this, because I'll tell you what, it must, because I would be worried to fucking hell after all these reports coming out and the CDC admitting that it's a problem. Dude, I would wake up every morning and I would feel my chest if I had it. Right now, I wake up every morning with a smile on my face and a boner in my pants.
Well, imagine. Thanks for that, by the way. But imagine that.
Visual. You know, it's not as big as Bo Lewis's though.
No, not nearly. But you know, the fucked up thing, though, dude, is one of the actual comorbidities listed for this is anxiety and stress. So let's give people some serious anxiety and stress about this virus, right? And then let's give them a procedure that we now know and then admit that causes problems, but yet they still have to worry about the virus. So like all they did was add stress, dude. Like that's all they did. And I'm sorry, like it's too prevalent. Like it's too much that there is association with it's because we talk a lot about the heart health issue, the myocarditis and pericarditis and stuff like that. There are neurological problems. There are like massive blood clotting issues, like thrombosis, like massive amounts of thrombosis and stuff like that are associated with this too. Like, and we're seeing that it's going to be worse on obese people. Like, I mean, I did a video not too long ago. It is the biggest misstep in human history on getting healthy. Like, it was the biggest opportunity possible to just try to get healthy. We would have saved trillions of dollars in healthcare costs over the course of the next 10 years if we could have gotten the population healthy. I mean, who would have lost out money? Fast food, pizza, like those places would have lost out their money. It would have affected the economy negatively that way. But the money in the pocket of the people would have been crazy. Like simple shit, like shop at your local farm. Like we could have built the economy that way. Fucking like we just had Thanksgiving, and I don't eat bird very often because I've been to poultry plants. But we got our turkey from a local farm, like pasture, like a local farm. Dude, their meat prices are amazing. I'm gonna shop there all the fucking time now. I'm gonna put the money back into the local economy, Yeah. But that's because I don't spend all sorts of money at fast food, and I don't spend all sorts of money at other places like that. Like we'll go to a restaurant and shit, but like
fast food costs like $10 for one meal, and people eat it 3 times a day. I just told you I said this in the other podcast, dude. I have for my most meals I eat are going to be planta and berries and shit. But I get grass-fed bison for $7 a pound.
Wow.
And I'm eating 6 ounces, so less than half a pound. And so I'm getting it's like for me a bison, whole veggies and everything, it's under $5.
Amazing.
Under $5, and it's the best food you can buy. And also, I want to say that the guy who built our house, he hunts, and you're allowed to kill unlimited deer here. We're buying a deep freezer, and they're getting for $70 processing. We're gonna have all the venison we could eat for the entire year.
Dude, that's amazing. I think I'm gonna go hog hunting this spring.
So
I'm gonna get a wild boar. So I mean, like if I have time, we'll see. Because I plan on here's what I think, and people need to understand this. Like Mark and I are really dedicated to this. We really want to help a lot of you. And in 2022, I promise you this: I'm going to do everything I can. I'll visit just about everywhere in fucking Florida and all the free states.
Yeah,
I'll visit all the free states readily. And if necessary, I go to a not free state. And I hate to even view them like that, but what the fuck? You people are not free.
It's like visiting Russia.
You guys are not free. I mean, like, if they can tell you to wear a mask someplace, you're not free. You're not American citizens. You're subjects. You're American subjects at this stage, right? But we're dedicated to this. Like and the problem is we're dedicated. You motherfuckers need to be like you actually have I see a lot of tough talk too. Like, and this is going to piss off some of the conservatives. A lot of you motherfuckers talk about how like rowdy you are and ready for revolution and all sorts of shit. Most of you motherfuckers could not make it down the goddamn street. I mean, like what the fuck? Most of you motherfuckers would be done after a goddamn day of fucking hiking and shit like that. Like, I mean,
have you ever seen a Trump rally? God,
it's fucking. I mean,
it's pathetic.
Let's get real, people. Like, if how dangerous are you when it comes to that shit? Like, yeah, you may be a great shot and shit like that, but I guarantee you this: not all you motherfuckers are gonna be snipers. Like it's ridiculous how people get in their head like, oh well, if they come after me, I'm gonna be ready, motherfucker. If you cannot make it out of your fucking front door and down the street without fucking gasping for breath, you ain't shit. Like you're not gonna do shit.
No, you're not going to do anything. It's absolutely absurd. I mean, look, man, we have a situation where it's left to schlubs like you and me that try and scream as loud as we can to get people healthy. and it hurts. Like the truth hurts. Like because you think you're in a good spot. So I was actually listening to Huberman this morning, and he was talking. You know what the most deadly disorder of any disorder there is, Alan?
What's that?
Anorexia.
Oh yeah.
He had a podcast on anorexia, bulimia, and eating disorders. It was profound. So, I mean, eating, look, man, the thing about anorexics is it's a power thing. It's not necessarily, it's not from social media. They've have studies, data to show this. It's a power thing. And and bulimia is a little bit different where anorexics, they feel good when they do anorexia. Bulimics feel bad when they throw up. So it's such a dichotomy of mental things, but we're looking at, I did a post on cheat days. It's like rewarding alcoholic with a beer for not drinking. And people went fucking hard. They were so mad I said it. But here's the thing. Cheat days are, if you went by the definition in the DSM, although they are kind of controlled, it is an eating disorder. It's a controlled eating disorder. Now, it's not necessarily an eating disorder, but it's a controlled eating disorder. And that's why I'm not a big fan of cheat days.
We don't do them either.
Because I'm still getting results. Well, maybe you are, but a vast majority of the population can't put the fucking cookie down.
The problem with, and we don't call them cheat days either. Like build it into your health. You know, like not everything needs to be eaten for health. Some stuff just for pleasure. That's what feasts are for. That's what desserts are for. Everything like that. But when you have a cheat day, like a cheat day, I know almost nobody that's trying to lose weight that can have a cheat day and not have it turn into a cheat week. Exactly. It's ridiculous, you know. Yeah. I mean, what you said, I was shocked that people got so pissed. I saw that post. I mean, it's the truth. You know, it's absolutely crazy. But the thing is, when it comes to food, people get so touchy because it gets all over them. But like, we would never reward other addictive behaviors or other disordered behaviors the way that we do. But and you're equating it to a drinking disorder when in fact, this is no shit. When we watch a morbidly obese person eat tons of food online, you might as well watch an alcoholic chugging a fifth. I mean, it's the same fucking thing.
It's absolutely insane. But it's all these wannabe fitness gurus who are like, oh no, cheat days are great. I'm like, see, the thing is, the problem is they're working in their bubble and what works for them. Mm-hmm. But as someone who's trained, literally, and also cheat meals, yes, but cheat day, a whole day, fucking 1/7 of your fucking week. You know how much damage you could do in a day, and also just metabolically, hormonally, it's not good. No. You know, and also you're eating shit. Like if your cheat day was chicken and rice, okay. If you're just eating, if you're not measuring your chicken, rice, and broccoli, all right. But these guys are literally eating the shittiest shit you could possibly eat.
Right. I still have things from when I was anorexic. The thing about anorexia is a much more immediate death sentence than obesity. Like it's disorder. It's kind of the reverse of the disorder, but it's a much more immediate one because the person does starve themselves to death. And the problem with that is they reach malnourishment very, very quickly. When you see bulimics, when bulimics start getting esophageal cancer and stuff like that from throwing up so much from the acid, I mean that means that they're that's very prolonged, and they're what's called intermittent bulimics, meaning they will have periods of extreme bulimia, normally around stressful events in their life, and then they'll be somewhat regulated. But true anorexics, like they reach malnourishment rather quickly. You know, I mean, like rather quickly. You know, the problem with obesity is that like it is a systemic, long-term thing that it just destroys. Like it's much more manageable by pharmaceutical basis, but it destroys the health of the person. You know. So
Casey, I'm going to say that's a stupid idea. I don't like when people have a cheat meal and then fast. I think that's a binge kind of purge mindset. I hate it.
It's the same thing. Like people weigh themselves the day after a binge, and I have no fucking idea why.
I would not follow a fucking binge with a fast. I just think that's setting up a fucking terrible mental precedent. It's like you made a bad error, and so you're punishing yourself by not eating. That's kind of using food as a reward and also a punishment. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And I might be wrong, but I don't like it. Casey, I think it's bad. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Here's my thoughts on it. First of all, Thanksgiving was a holiday. It's not a cheat day. It's a day of planned celebration. So you didn't cheat on shit. You knew you were going to, like, if you know you're going to do it. A cheat is like where you just like let loose. You knew what you were going to eat and everything like that. If you for the next holiday coming up, make sure that you plan out your next day's food as a normal sustainable day that you have the food procured, you know where you're going to get it from, you know exactly when you're going to eat, what you're going to eat. I do suggest that you go much more protein, healthy fat focused, especially after a day where you're going to have a lot of ultra processed carbohydrates, because you are going to be craving ultra processed carbohydrates a lot more the day after that you have them. So make sure you try to stifle your hunger as much as possible, and do like fasting the day after, like is not, I agree with Mark. That is almost a disordered type of behavior.
I didn't know if you'd agree with me or not on that, because
I believe in fasting. You know, I do.
Yeah.
But I believe in fasting intermittently. Like, and I hate calling it intermittent fasting
as a lifestyle, not as a punishment or to make up for a binge. I think physiologically, okay, whatever. But mentally, psychologically, as someone who, in case I'm not trying to be mean, who is morbidly obese, I think you've already shown the propensity to get really fat. So, and I'm not trying. I have no other way of saying this, and I'm sorry if I'm being insensitive.
No,
it's not my intention. I'm not very good at being politically correct when calling people fat. But you're getting a lot better. Like, you're amazing. You're a fucking inspiration. But I just fear when you have someone who's been as fucking fat as you, that this can lead to a mental avalanche of shit where you're going from a reward to fucking punishment mindset with your food. And I don't like that at all. And that's just my personal experience coaching over thousands of people.
I mean, his response was, it's his normal day of fasting. I will say this, a whole day of fasting, you just got to watch, okay? Because here's the thing, man. Like, when you just throw it in there, now Mark has a great book about fasting, by the way, but that's performance fasting. That's for performance athletes, basically. You know what I mean? But
some athletes can't do. It's not for everybody, but I think it's for people who are normal people who still want to perform while fasting.
Right. But to just throw in a day of fasting, like I am much more of a build your habits around your normal daily life. Like, because if you have a day of adjustment, like now, what happens if that's your day of fasting, you've eaten high processed foods the day before, and then your normal day of fasting, and then all of a sudden you have a serious stressful event and or something happens, blah, blah, blah. Like, you got to be prepared for the temptations of binging, man. So, like, the thing is, what do you need to prepare for? Because right now, Casey, and I think you're doing a fabulous job, just like Mark said, because you are amazing. We love sharing your shit. Eventually, I'd love to meet you at some point in time. But what you need to prepare for, and this may seem like a very foreign idea to you, you need to prepare for how you're going to live after you're not the dude that loses weight. Because right now you're the dude that loses weight. You know what I mean? And I know you're not a pussy dude. I know you can take it, Casey. But right now you're the dude that loses weight. Okay, to another degree, you're being very much rewarded in the social eye because people are like, "Hey, great job, attaboy, blah blah blah." But at some point in time, dude, that's going to be done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you need to have a lifestyle that sustains that, and that's why it's very important where you set something up that it's not going to be just based around weight loss. You need to set a lifestyle that you like, eat the foods that you like in moderation, in a way that's going to have you be healthy. And the fasting day, I know if it's already built in, I'm not against it because everybody's different, but I can say to view a cheat day than a fast day, it almost builds up I'm going to punish myself and then fix it.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. You can't do that. That's very bad.
Eating disorders are in the DSM. They're psychological. I mean, it is what it is. And we've worked with a lot of people, and let's just say that I've never seen that habit parlay into something good. Right. It always ends badly. Like, it just fucking does. And then, you end up going from 400 and losing weight down to 200. And then the next thing you know, you're 500, and I've seen that happen, and it's fucking hard to see.
Yep.
It's fucking hard to see. It's psychological. It's mind.
Yeah, it is.
Your mind controls your body, and your body controls your mind. They're they work together. Like, who would have thought that most of our immune system's in our gut? Who would have thought that your gut microbiome has so much to do with your memory and your thoughts and your feelings? And it does. So what we're learning is that all this shit is intertwined. And that's why obesity, if you look at the mental effects of obesity, I'm not talking about societal, because right now it's, cool to be obese. You have fat acceptance, right? But if you look at the way a fat person's brain works, it's not good compared to a person who's not fat, because fat makes your body work harder. It fucks up your hormones. It fucks up everything. And so when you're fat, you're in a predicament where you're just not going to be optimal mentally. So being fat isn't just going to kill you physically. It's going to kill you mentally. And everybody who's lost weight, they're much more productive as lean people than they are fat people. So, and that's not fat shaming. That's a fucking fact. And the thing is, facts are, God forbid you state a fact. God forbid you state a fucking fact. Look, yes, fat people need to somehow, I'm not saying shame anybody, but we need to tell them the truth that they're not only killing themselves physically, but they're destroying themselves mentally and you have one chance on this earth, one shot. This is it. Are you going to spend it with a mind that works to fucking optimization? Or are you going to spend it crippled because you can't put down a fucking processed cheeseburger?
And I think we're almost at an hour, but I did want to keep, so should I ditch the 24-hour fast? Man, I tell you what, I would start I wouldn't ditch it, but I would start dipping my toe into at least having one solid, like high protein, healthy fat meal that day to make sure you stay really satiated, but you're also getting nutrients you need. I definitely would never fast ever for a 24-hour period without taking some sort of multivitamin, to make sure I got that in. You gotta make sure that like you're doing what works for you, because not what works for me. That's why I teach a method. I don't actually teach a diet, but I don't know if you should ditch it. But I will say this: the way that you stated it to us earlier, did not sound like a healthy fucking endeavor. You know what I mean? It absolutely did not. It
sounds like he's explaining away what he said before.
Yeah,
and that's not me being mean, but I really want you to succeed. I want everybody to succeed. And these are just and again, if you want, and you're not the guy we're talking to, but if you want fluff and bullshit, we're not the place. Like, we're just going to tell you how it is, and we're going to help you. And we're that coach who tells you, hey, coach, I want to go D1. You need to be faster. You run a 4.7. Everybody else at your position runs a 4.5. We need to get you faster. All right. That's my mindset. I'm a strength coach. If a kid comes to me and says, hey, why aren't I able to fucking shoot as well? I'm like, well, because your explosion's weak. We need to work on this. Your lateral movements are weak. We need to work on this. I'm not going to be like, well, little Billy, it's because maybe you just need to look into your deep feelings and emotions. No, dude, you're too fucking slow. Here's what we have to do to make you faster.
And too often people like we come from there's a generation of people now that just don't want to believe that they're fucking that there's in any way they can possibly have something fucking wrong with them.
I have a lot wrong.
There's so much wrong with me. It is tragic. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fucking much right now. Like, I can't even take it myself,
Yeah.
Fucking crazy shit.
So we definitely need to revisit everything on Wednesday or whenever we get back on, but there's so much more we need to discuss. Yeah. So you guys can be sure to share our stuff. Again, if you're not subscribed to us on Spotify, do it, because YouTube's going to ban us.
Eventually, yeah.
And then we'll be there's a lot of podcasts that crush it on Spotify, that crush it on Apple Podcasts, which is our number one platform. And we'll have a good time there. But for now, we're riding YouTube as long as they'll let us. We have no warnings. We simply have a deleted video, so we're actually strike free, which is actually pretty. Cool. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Alan, thank you so much for having.
Thank you, sir. We'll talk later today, man. Hey, everybody, and in case at some point in time, I'm going to reach out to you. I'll set up a call with you, and we can talk some stuff through for you. Okay.
Yeah. See you on the next Gainzcast.
All right.